SOBA, that's the Old Boy Association. You are no longer boys, but old boys. So I thank you very much for inviting me to this wonderful event. I want to congratulate you for what I've heard, what I've seen. I want also to congratulate all the speakers for the wonderful presentation they made. All these presentations were professionally made. And if I can sum up what they said, I will say, like Kennedy said, don't ask what your country is doing for you. Ask yourself what you are doing for your country. That's what all of them said. If you are here, it's our involvement in the development of our country. That is what we have to do for our country. Get involved on its development. If you don't do it, because I'm old, I'm 66. By the way, my birthday was 2 days ago. So I'm expecting for each of you 1 bottle of palm wine. That is not corruption. So many good things were said. How to get involved, how to develop our country. Mr. Tomato made a very good presentation. And all of you, congratulations again. But there's one thing I want to tell you. You know, any human endeavor is perfect. Believe me. We can criticize. We can say anything. The Chinese has a saying, deeds, not words. Let's stop talking. Now it's time for action. It's time for action. I don't have that time because I'm old, but you have a lot of time. I don't want you in 10 years' time or 20 years' time to be in the position we are today. My wish is that in 10 years' time, even before then, that you have a country like Cameroon where it is good or worth living in, where your parents, your brothers, sisters, your friends will be happy because Cameroon will no longer be a developed country, but maybe an emerging country. Maybe what you don't know, or you know it, but maybe you have never thought about it. Cameroon is a very rich country. I'm going to tell you why. We have a second hydraulic resource in Africa, as in water, after Congo. We have a lot of mineral resources, believe me. In some of them, proven reserve, we are number 1 in the world, or number 2, 3, 4. We have a bunch of them. But if I have something to recognize for the 2 leaders we have had up till today, is that they have kept all this wealth intact, except all which has been exploited in Cameroon for a few years now. But other mineral resources are still underground. So, you have a lot. Don't listen to those people who will come to you and say, oh, they have taken everything. They have spoiled their country. They have this, that. No. Cameroon is still a rich country. That's why a few days ago, I went to see the higher manager of Deutsche Bank, Commerzbank, and other investors. All of them, believe me, Cameroon is the only country in Africa today. If you go to a country in the banking system, private banking system, to ask for a loan, they will not refuse because they know we can pay back because of the wealth we have under our crown. So you have a rich country. But now we are beginning a process in Cameroon of development. It will take time. we are human beings, as I told you. No human being endeavor is perfect. So don't be in a hurry, because in Cameroon, people always take their time. Believe me. Never be in a hurry in Cameroon. So, as I was saying, we are now in a process of industrialization. Last year, 2010, I was in Davok, and I told my fellow Cameroonians, listen, we are in a process of developing our country, industrializing our country. But what is happening is that, to industrialize, the first thing you need is energy. If you don't have energy, you cannot do anything, because all these plants, industry cannot function. So the first thing is energy. So what we're doing now in Cameroon is, since we have chosen what we call green energy, we have the hydroelectricity energy. It's a green energy. So now we have mini electricity dams which are being built. And along or from those hydroelectricity dams to the port of Kribi or Limbe, there are projects to build railroads. And along these railroads, what are other countries doing now? Those who have money, the Europeans, the Indians, the Chinese, they're buying plots. For what? Because tomorrow they build plants to produce. Because you know that industrialization has two phases. Upstream is to transform the minerals into metal. And downstream, from the metal now you can then produce all finished or semi-finished products. That is industrialization. If I take one like, let's say, iron ore. Once the iron ore has become a steel, from the steel now, you have many use. We use steel in road construction, building construction, everything. So this phase of transformation, suppose today, we, German diaspora, we choose to get involved into this transformation process. What should we do? Or we decide today to invest in Cameroon. But what I'm telling you is something which is be very, very important in developing our country tomorrow. If we don't do that, Europeans, Asians, Indians, and so on, even the Latin Americans, because Brazil is there, they will come and invest in our country. What will you do tomorrow? We will keep criticizing. Oh, they have sold our country. Oh, they have done this and that. So let's get involved in this process of industrializing our country, industrialization of Cameroon. That's why I'm very happy of this, my children who are here, who have created Kadidek. Kadidek is something wonderful. As I was saying not long ago, big things, great things always start small. I have a gentleman called Kuz. He's a Cameroonian living in Paris. He's a scientist. His thesis, PhD thesis, was in the system of, anti-collision. Anti-collision system. At the beginning, people laughed at him when he created his business. They said, oh, what? And then the French gave him the nationality because they know that the guy, this system will work tomorrow. And then they gave him a loan of 20,000 euros. The guy began with a 20,000 euros project. Today, he is a multinational company, a company he built. When I talk with him in Bonn, in Davok, he listened to me, and he came to me and said, I have decided not to go to Cameroon. But what he told me, what you said during this forum has convinced me that I have to go to my country and get involved into its development. And last May, we were in Cameroon. He came to Cameroon. Now, as I told you, he has a multinational company. He's a billionaire today, that guy. Now, what he wants to do to Cameroon is he has an institute which forms engineers in this system. So the institute is now in Dubai, another one in the Emirates. So we want to take that institute to Cameroon in a day, where all engineers of the world will come for their training or their formation. So you see how some Cameroonians love their country. There's a guy who is today a billionaire. He started with a small company, like Kadidek is starting today. Don't neglect it. Because, you know, as they said, we are 20,000 in Germany. When I brought this project, when I talked of this project to Cameroon who are in Austria, Hungary, Poland, and so on, because I'm also ambassador in those countries, 9 total countries where I'm ambassador here. When I talked to Cameroon who are there, all were interested. And in Austria, they are organizing themselves. And they want to contribute, not individually, but as Cameroon Diaspora of Austria to Kadidek. Because the project is very interesting. If each of us gives 100 euros, 100, we have 20,000. It is 2 million. But believe me, if today we have 2 million euros here in any bank, even in their Volksbank, if you have 2 million euros in a bank here in Germany, we can go into partnership with all type of company here. Because what we are missing, or what is an impediment in partnership between Germany or Germans and Cameroonian is what? It's because we don't have real entrepreneur. Or we do have entrepreneur, but they don't have the capital. If you don't have the money, how could you enter into partnership with somebody? That will not work. So that is what pushed me 3 years ago when I came to Germany. Because I tried. I went to many lenders. I met businessmen, chamber of commerce, people, authorities, that means the minister president, governments of different lenders. And I noticed that these people cannot do something interesting for us. So the only thing we can do is that we don't have to wait for other people to help us. We should help ourselves. And by helping ourselves means coming together, putting our means together to invest in our country. So please, what I'm giving you now is an advice, because I'm old. You know, in Africa, we always say that old men are wise. So we are sharing, so I have to share the wisdom of an old man. It's for your future. Give your money to Kadidek. Believe me, you will not waste that money. Your money tomorrow will be multiplied. Your money tomorrow will help you, help your brothers in Cameroon, and help all of us. Because if Cameroon becomes a developed country or an emergent country, all of us will be happy. Maybe I will no longer be there, but I would like to see that while I'm still alive. So please do it quick. Thank you very much.